Hi all. Heather again. I wanted to check in about this week's readings. I'm sorry that I was unable to immediately put up a video. As those of you who are on campus know, there is some major work happening outside the campus on a green space area, outdoors by Faculty Row. Well, that's right by my office. So every time they bust out the jackhammers, it gets a little loud in there. So I apologize. I'm not seeing any questions yet on week 8, which I am choosing to interpret as everything is making sense and you're good. But just in case, let me throw a few things out there. First off, when you're reading Lord, keep in mind that her concept of the erotic, she's tying to mares more than anything else we've read. She's definitely not just saying erotic equals sexual. There's definitely more complexity to her than that. For her, erotic equals deep feeling. Erotic equals genuine experience. Erotic equals engagement. Now, all of that can be sexual. And I think what's particularly interesting here, and part of why I put it in this unit, is she doesn't exclude the sexual from that, but she includes a lot of other stuff. There's definitely an appreciation of the sensual as well. Oh, by the way, that movement would be one of my cats next to me. That's not a random tribble. She definitely includes the sensual. She definitely includes the sexual, but she definitely goes beyond that. And I think it's a really interesting way to look at defining experience. Is there something equally urgent to discussing an idea as there is to actually having sex? And again, you're going to see some of this if you go back to mares as well. If you were a little lost on mares, it might be interesting to revisit mares now that you've looked at Lord to put them in some context with each other. Another place that you might find an interesting comparison would be to look at Walker and some of what she's talking about in Search of Our Mother's Gardens, because some of the things that she's saying with creativity definitely tie to what Lord is saying for erotic experience. The more quote-unquote creative works for the week, I gave you both Cisneros and Kay, and my reasoning on that is that they both deal with the erotic both in a very typical, directly sexual way, but also in that kind of Lord sense of the deeply felt experience of genuine emotion and presence in the moment. I think they've got both going on very clearly. Cisneros, seriously, and I know I said this in the reading information, try reading her aloud, because she is definitely meant to be read. She definitely feels like a performative author. When it comes to Kay, keep in mind, and make sure that you're not thrown by this. The first poem, Close Shave, she's not talking as herself. She's actually speaking as a male in a relationship with another male. Kay is very big on taking on other characters. Cisneros doesn't really do that in her poetry as much, but obviously in her short stories, it's totally different. Also, if you struggled with Mona Inomiata, you might find it really interesting to look at Kay's poem cycle and compare. After reading Kay, does Rossetti make any more sense to you? It's possible. It's definitely, in some ways, there's some similarities to the works. It's just that one of them is not caught up in being specifically a sonnet. Anyway, I did the 4 o'clock chat session. No one showed up. That's cool. I'm gonna hope that some people show up at 6, so I will be on there then. And please keep talking to me if you have any questions about anything at all. Okay? Thanks much, guys.